Well, thank you very much, everybody. I made myself some notes so I can stay on point because a lot like Ellie, I can talk about the Buckeye Ranch all day long. If you're not busy this afternoon, we can reconvene after lunch. First of all, I want to thank a couple of people. Barbara Locke took me around and introduced me to each of you. Barbara's been involved with the ranch now for, we won't tell how long, okay? But let's put it this way, the ranch has been around for 57 years, okay? And Barbara was not involved 57 years ago. But anyway, not only is she on our board of directors, she's also my mom. I'm not really a Locke kid, but she has a lot of kids who are her kids. And so I want to thank Barbara for having us here today, and also the Grove City office with Vicki Rossi and the group back there. Thank you very much. So again, I'm Nick Reese. I am the president and CEO of the Buckeye Ranch, which also makes me the president of the Buckeye Ranch Foundation. As I mentioned, we're not new. We've been around for 57 years. Most of you have probably heard of maybe the Buckeye Boys Ranch and now the Buckeye Ranch. You may kind of think of us as that little farm down in Grove City. And if you think about us that way, then you don't know us today. So the thing I would tell you is that, so we started in Grove City on that property. We're now actually operating from 7 locations in Ohio. We have nearly 600 people on staff, and we provided services last year for about 5,000 children and their families. Now, the families that we run into, those children are struggling with issues, issues from mental health issues to behavioral health issues, emotional issues, those kind of things. We also provide a lot of services for children who have been abused and neglected. We have a very large foster care agency that we run throughout the state of Ohio. We still run the residential campus in Grove City. We have we have 21 different programs for children based on their need. We have grown double our size in the last 5 years because of the incredible need for this service for children and the fact that our competitors, if you will, have all closed. While we're very good at what we do, the funding for this type of work is impossible. We start out every year, maybe a couple of $1 million in the hole, just to get things taken care of. And so we rely on fundraising to help us make ends meet every year. So thank you very much for considering a donation to us. Well, I thought statistics bore everybody to death. I pulled yesterday just the dossiers on 3 children, or actually 4 kids, and I want to tell you just quickly about those kids. So we have this siblings, Bobby and Connie. They're in foster care with us right now. They never really knew their father. Their mother was working 2 jobs. You've heard this story before. She hurt her back, went to the doctors, was prescribed some opioid kind of things. The prescription ran out. She wanted to keep her job going. Next thing you know, she's addicted to heroin. She's having opioid problems. The courts get involved. And now Bobby and Connie are with us in a foster home. And we're working with Mom. She's working to try to get past those issues. And we're hoping to get them reconnected sometime soon. So that's, a story we hear a lot in foster care. And I'll tell you, just not to jump on the opioid story, but last month, we had 140 children referred to us for foster care, and 120 of them were coming out of opioid stories. To give you a feel for what that means to our state. So here's another young man. His name's TJ. He's in our residential program right now with us. So he's in Grove City, which is considered an intensive care center. And so he's been with us for about a month. His story's a little different. Well, it's actually, unfortunately, it's very similar. His parents are divorced. He sort of blames himself for the breakup of the family, and he's mad at his mom. He kind of was, before the divorce, he was a good student and getting along well at school. Next thing you know, he's having a terrible time at school. He became very angry, constantly fighting, mad at the world. He gets suspended from school for fighting. He gets in a little bit of problems with the courts, and the next thing you know, he's with Franklin County Children's Services, and they realize that this kid has anger issues and all kinds of stuff, and so they send him to the Buckeye Ranch, and he's now with us, and he'll probably be there for 4 or 5 months, and then we'll probably try to get him joined back with his school and hopefully back with his mom before too long. Another young lady, Amanda, is living with her grandmother. Her mom and dad split up, and she's kind of lost contact with them. And just a blip on there, I don't know if you know this, but 5 years ago in the state of Ohio, there were 20,000 children living with their grandparents. Today, there are 100,000 children living with their grandparents in the state of Ohio. Mike DeWine's working on some things to help those grandparents with some funding, because a lot of these grandparents are really not prepared to take a kid back into their house, or several children. So, Amanda is living with her grandmother, and she's kind of depressed about her situation. She misses her mom and dad. She struggled a lot at school, and she always needs somebody to talk to. So we have a community-based counselor that meets with her once a week at her house or at school or at church on the weekends. And we have 80 people now working in the community that do that. The kids never come to see us. We go to see the kids. And it's really working out very nice for her. So when you hear these kind of stories, and I deal with this all the time, I don't know what you personally think. You may want to blame the parents. You want to maybe blame the system. You want to blame the crazy world that we live in today. But at the Buckeye Ranch, we don't blame anybody. We try to draw a line in the sand the day we meet those children and talk about where we're going. It's not about what you did or what was done to you to get you here, but where are we going to go? And so one of the things that it helps me always explain this is, so I said we don't blame anybody because Bobby and Connie are 7 and 4, TJ is 14, and Amanda is 13. So they're just kids, and they deserve a chance, and we believe that. And fortunately for us, people like you believe that too. So we have been able to keep things going because of the fact that this community desperately believes in making sure these kids get a chance and that they're taken care of. So we have a lot of people like Barbara Locke, like all of you. We have a lot of corporations, we have a lot of donors and foundations that help us make ends meet every year. So with that, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to be here. Rest assured that the money that you donate to the Buckeye Ranch is being used for a good purpose, and it's touching the lives of a heck of a lot of kids. When I walked through the audience today and we met earlier, I asked you where your offices were because I can tell you this, we're serving children from every one of your communities. This is not just for poor kids, it's for every kid. And we serve children from all over the state of Ohio now, and last year it was 5,000. So I'd leave that. Any questions or all while I'm here? I appreciate the time today. It's very nice to meet all of you. Thank you.